I was speaking on stage just a few weeks ago, and I thought of this something. It just kind of came out of me. It wasn't on my roster, wasn't in my notes, wasn't in my plans. I called somebody from the audience. His name was John. It's really his name was John. It wasn't just a John Doe. I said, John, can you please join me on stage? And if you ever meet this John, he's not the most extrovert guy, so a little uncomfortable, but luckily he trusted me. John came on stage and he said, "Okay, what do I do?" And I kind of joked with him and I handed him the microphone. And I say, "John, finish the teaching." He's like, "Whoa!" I was just having a little fun with John here. Now, what John did is he stood there with the microphone and he was available and he was ready, and I appreciated that. I said, "John, where were you born?" He said, "Well, I was born in Philadelphia." "Oh, wonderful. What about your parents?" He's like, "Well, they're both also from Philly." "Okay, how'd they meet?" "Well, they met in college." "Okay. Are there any other colleges in Philly?" "Oh yeah, several, but they met at this college." "Okay, what about your mom's parents? Where are they from?" "This place and this." "What is your father's parents?" "This place and this place." "What about their parents?" "Well, I think these places and these places." And I said, "Now, how did they meet?" And he starts going through until he doesn't even know. And at a certain point, I go, "What's the likelihood of these two couples meeting and having a child in a time where, dying in childbirth was actually pretty common, unfortunately?" And then we went down the list. What's the likelihood of this? What's the likelihood of this? What's the likelihood of you being born? He goes, "Well, now I've never looked at it like this. One in a billion, one in a trillion." I said, "John, what's the likelihood that we're having this conversation now with my family's background and your family's background and everybody in this room? What's the likelihood we're even having this conversation on stage?" And he goes, "Mike, it's like nothing. It's like one in trillions, trillions, gazillions. The likelihood of this conversation is one in infinity almost." I said, "Would we classify that as a miracle?" And John said, "Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely." I said, "Thank you, John. I appreciate you. You are a miracle." And he went and he sat down. Now you're thinking of your parents and their parents and where they met and the likelihood. And we've got people, now coming from different countries meeting each other in the last 100 years. We had a lot of people meeting in different countries, flying around the world and getting married and having kids and whatnot. Now, the likelihood of you as an individual, as a self, as a person, is one in so many. It's kind of like one in nothing. I want you to start there. I want you to start with understanding that you are an absolute miracle, literally. The likelihood of you existing and me existing and you even listening to this message is one in trillions, billions, right? When you understand what it takes to make you, you can't help but have some self worth, some self value.